This is the plaintiff, Leandro Rodriguez. He says he was legally parked in his Mercedes-Benz, and he opened the door 6 inches to get out, and the defendant sideswiped him, denting his car. The defendant shouldn't have been driving so close. His door was only open a crack, and he's just lucky he wasn't injured. The careless defendant refuses to pay for his damages. That's why he's here suing for the $2,168 he's owed. This is the defendant, Fausto Rodriguez. He says the plaintiff suddenly and without warning opened his door while he was passing, and the plaintiff hit his Toyota. The plaintiff is the negligent party in this lawsuit. He's been driving 40 years, and the plaintiff must be living on another planet if he thinks this accident isn't his fault. He's accused of coming too close. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for car damages.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says he was legally parked in his Mercedes when he opened the door and the defendant came along and sideswiped him. But the defendant says the plaintiff swung his door open and caused the accident. It's the case of a bad case of the badness.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Leandro Rodriguez. You are suing Fausto Rodriguez for $2,168. The cost to repair your car that you say was crashed into through his negligence. You have a counterclaim against him for $5,000 for emotional distress, lost wages, and the cost to repair your car. All right, tell me what's going on.
I was parked on 165th between Grand Concourse and Walton Avenue. So I would say around maybe 6:30.
In the evening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was parked on the right-hand side.
Okay.
I recently was in a car accident. I got hit by a car a couple of months ago. So what happened is I looked through my mirrors, make sure no car was coming. I cracked my door just a little bit. I had it like this with my hand, just a little bit cracked. And I went to get my cane to get out. And that's when Mr. Fausto, he ran, he hit my car.
Wait, where had he been in that moment where you looked in the mirror and didn't see him? Did he materialize out of thin air?
No, there was no cars. There was nothing coming.
If there were no cars, then how did he hit you? Obviously, there was a car.
There was no, when I looked, there was no car. I had my,
well, then where did he come from?
I guess he came from the bottom of the street. He was coming up. I guess he was coming up.
So when you look, your view is obstructed because there's a hill?
There's a hill, but there's no cars. You can see all the way down. I have pictures I can show you.
If you can see all the way down, why didn't you see him when you looked?
Because he wasn't there. There was no one there.
If he wasn't there, where was he?
I don't know.
Okay, but you understand that can't be, right? That like he existed in that space-time continuum before. Did you just open the door like people do all the time? Because people do this all the time.
No.
That's why we have laws in every state governing this action, where they open the door and they're not thinking about the fact that there's traffic going down there.
No, I didn't. Like I just told you.
So how can it be possible that he, at the same time, you look, there's nothing, and then when you open the door 6 inches,
when I looked,
how are you going to get out with just 6 inches?
No, I wasn't. I had my door cracked. I had it held to get my cane. And once I got the cane, that's when I was going to push the rest of the door out to get out.
And so the man was 6 inches from your car?
No, I'm saying my door wasn't even open that wide.
Right, so if it's open 6 inches and he hit you, you're saying the man was 6 inches from your car.
He was too close to...
6 inches from your car is what you're saying. Not too close, 6 inches from your car. He's driving down the street 6 inches from your car if he hits your car and your car door is only open 6 inches.
Right.
That is what you are saying.
Right.
Okay, let me hear your version.
I was riding eastbound on 165th Street, and everything was...
What lane are you in?
There's only one lane.
Okay.
It's two-way street.
Okay.
It's 10 feet wide.
The lane is 10 feet wide?
Yes. My car is 7 foot, including the 2 mirrors, is 7 foot.
Okay.
So I had no choice. I had to fit my car in that space. I couldn't go on the other side.
Once you turned, how many blocks before the accident happened? More or less?
After I turned was 1.5 blocks.
1.5 blocks. All right.
After I turned on Jerome.
1.5 blocks.
Yes.
So when you're driving, do you see him open the door?
No, his door, everything was quiet. It was about 9 o'clock, so dark, but quiet.
9 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
Not 6 o'clock, it was later than that. And then when I approached to that point, I didn't know what situation this event is going to occur right there. When I heard bump, then I learned somebody was in that car and trying to get out.
Door. All right. And what did it hit?
He hit my right side from the front door all the way to
Do you have a picture of the damages to your car?
Yes.
Do you have a picture of the damages to your car?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at these pictures. When did you take this picture?
I took those pictures about, I would say about a week ago.
Okay, so you were trying to kind of reenact it?
Yes. You see how that car's coming? Look how it's a two-way street, and look how wide the van is coming up. When you go to the next one, that's how my door was cracked open. As you can see, the car's driving by.
So what's the damage to your car?
The damage to the car is the door.
Just the door?
No, the door and then the side.
What side?
Towards the front.
Let me see your pictures. Why isn't the whole side of your car damaged?
See, this is, can you show this is part of also.
Yep. That's all damage up front?
Yes, that's right.
What part of your car is this? The back?
The
what
back.
part is damaged?
the back.
The back?
Yes.
How on earth can your door open first and him hit you when it's only the back of his car damaged?
No, it's not only the back.
Oh, what else is damaged?
So, whose fault is it? Plaintiff opens the door crack, defendant hits him. Who's responsible for the accident?
The driver.
Really?
Yes.
What if the plaintiff just swung the door open, boom, and then the guy's right there?
That was the guy's fault for not looking before he opened his door.
So whose ultimate fault is it? The driver or the guy opening the door?
The guy opening the door. Without a doubt.
Okay, without a doubt. We'll find out going inside the courtroom.
The side mirror.
And?
Then scratches, little scratch on the door.
Is the front of your car damaged?
Yeah, and then the rear door, the back door, and the basis and the fender, that was broke.
What happened when you contacted his insurance?
They sent out an appraiser. He looked at my car. Then he left, and I contacted the insurance, and they told me that they was not able to pay me because they say that it was my fault for me to take.
Are you familiar with the laws governing this situation in your state of New York? They're just like the laws in every other state. You're the guy who controls the action that causes the that could result in an accident. So the burden is on you not to open the door until there's no traffic, until you could do so safely. You say, I looked and there was nothing. But we know that can't be true because there was something. Even according to you, there was something. There was an accident. There was a car that created an accident. You're not looking. You're just opening the door. I mean, how could you possibly have looked? Because if you had looked, you would see him. He's not invisible. This is completely your fault. Not even partially your fault, completely your fault. And then you sue him? That's so ironic. So on your lawsuit against him, 0. And on your claim against him, why are you suing for 5 days at $125? What's that about?
I was expecting my car was going to be repaired. In New York, the law for taxi and limousine commission don't allow taxi drivers drive with car broken.
Were you a taxi?
Yes.
And how do you come up with 125?
It's 125, that's the production daily.
Yeah, but I need to see proof of that.
5 days.
You need to prove your case. You need to show me how that's what you lost not being able to drive.
Well, this is the average production of a regular taxi in New York.
So the answer would be no.
It's
All right.
125.
And how do you figure out that I would ever order somebody to pay you $2,525 more than your damages for emotional distress? This is a car accident.
Because I got scared and I
Okay, but that doesn't getting scared doesn't entitle you to $2,500. There's no emotional distress in this case. There is, however, the repair to your Camry. Can I see the proof of what it's going to cost to repair, or what it cost you to repair your Camry? What day did this happen?
On the 30th, it's 29 on the
29 or the 30th?
Well, because the
overnight?
officer put the 30th because the night went over.
Yeah.
I mean, the day went over.
Okay, but you didn't even fix your car. You didn't fix your car on January 3rd. You fixed your car on January 27th. So what'd you do for a car between the 3rd and the 27th?
Well, I went back to him because he gave me the...
Okay, you had said that you were suing for 5 days because after 5 days you realized his insurance wasn't going to pay and you fixed the car. So I expected to see a repair bill dated 1/3, or 1/4, but instead I'm seeing a repair bill dated 1/27. So if you were able to work with the car, or this maybe isn't your only car, I'm not following here.
For the next week after the accident, then past the 5 days, then the next week, then I had to be ready to work.
I don't know what you're saying. This is not a week, it's 24 days later. Just tell me if you got this doc. Is this the place you fixed your car, yes or no?
Yes.
And is this what it cost you to fix your car?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have proof of payment?
That's the receipt.
Do you have proof that you paid it?
Well, I paid him.
Okay, that's not, I'm not, okay, gotcha. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order him to pay for your car, and that's $1,850, verdict for the defendant. On your lawsuit against him, 0. This accident is 100% completely your fault. That's my verdict.
All right, hold on right there.
So the plaintiff loses on his lawsuit, the defendant wins on his. Mr. Rodriguez, nice to see you out here. I'm sorry, the judge said it's totally your fault. How do you feel about that?
I really disagree with it, but that's the judge's rules. Nothing I can do about it.
Unfortunately, you're right. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
Okay, thank you very much. You must sign a few documents. Now, another Mr. Rodriguez is here. If you step over here, please, sir. You were suing for $5,000. You got it, like $1,800 from the judge. You okay with that now?
Well,
repair your car?
I was not working for 5 days, and that means that I lose money.
Well, I understand, but that's all you could get in the eyes of the law.
Yes.
Okay? Thank you very much, sir. Okay? You must sign some documents, and the door is that way. All right. Harvey, what do you think?
Doug, so if the plaintiff opened the door and the defendant could have avoided the crash but didn't, that would be a different story. The defendant probably would lose that case, but that is not what happened here.